Back out here at our property again, and my footage didn't save the last time I filmed. I did fly and get some drone video. When I was filming, we had this pile burning here, burning up a little bit of the wood that was all along here. Most of this pile of wood we did haul back to a fire pit back in the back so that we didn't burn the barn down. But yeah, it looks a lot better already. There's still a lot of piles of miscellaneous, some people might call it junk, all over the place, but I don't. I consider a lot of these old antiques. I do have quite a few people coming today to kind of look at some of these items and purchase them. So just wanted to kind of film one last update real quick before some of the stuff disappeared and show how much cleanup we did already. This over here almost looks like an old dog coop. Old farm seat right there in the dirt. A little bit of scrap in here, some cinder blocks, dump rake and side rake, old hay hauler here. I mean, this one's just grown right into all these trees, so these trees will need to be cut down when this one's hauled out of here. But it's coming along. The guy I sold the barn to, he's got a decent amount of wood off this one already. I'm finding a whole bunch of old oil signs as well. Maybe I'll post up a picture so people know what I'm talking about, but those actually have quite a bit of value. They're old Johnson winged 70, a lot of them. This old house is falling down a little bit more. If the guy doesn't want to take any of the wood that's buying the barn off of these buildings, I'm just going to go ahead and probably burn these. Old chippy in there, hear him. It's springtime. A lot of the animals are starting to come out. Look at this chunk of coal. That is a large chunk of coal we found. Old mailbox. Again, this is where all those pine trees were piled right in here. It's like another chunk of coal. This kind of looked like maybe something to do with the chicken coop, kind of the top of the building, feeder. A lot of old barrels. I mean, a lot of this is scrap, but those old antiques are not scrap. This is what I saw, old chicken feeder as well. Looks like the top of an old chicken water. A lot of tires laying around. Oh yeah, there's some chicken wire. This was probably the old chicken coop right here. Old jars. I'm gonna be sorting through a lot of these, trying to salvage what I can, but we gotta get rid of some of these tires too. I think there's a drop-off at the DNR in the springtime to prevent mosquitoes from coming and laying in those, so I think they do a free drop-off, so I'll have to look into that and see when that is. Bunch of old tires in here some more. You can now get inside this old building. Falling down. Large rope. I don't know if I would trust that even to rope swing on. Whole roof fell down in here. Nice old Pepsi bottle, Chevy rim. Not sure if that Chevy rim is off this car over here. We got two barrels here. I got someone to buy those this afternoon. They're coming to get those, as well as someone coming to buy this old Chevy car. I had to look it up. I think it's a Chevy Aero sedan, but I posted a picture of what this car looked like before. Different door, not sure what this door is from, but it's not off of this car. This right here is an old corn binder. So there's that. And then over here on this side, we have the old manure spreader. So again, lots of these are really grown in. Trees are growing right through them, so trees will need to be taken down to get these out of here. But value-wise, people are telling me that the tires, these rims, are about $100 each. So that manure spreader should be about $400. And then the old seats off the rakes are usually about $100 as well, those old cast seats. Let's take a look at the barn. He's supposed to be coming next week to disassemble the rest of this. and move it down. He's got to rent a lift to be able to get the rest of it. This old beam here, we asked him to save. We're actually going to put this beam in our house above our fireplace, so that'll be pretty cool to keep a little bit of that history here. I did have my grandpa here yesterday too, so we had my dad, my grandpa, and myself here, and he was able to kind of tell us a little bit more about the history of this old barn. He actually said this area in here, they had horses in here, not cows like we had thought. Being that these are up so high, cows wouldn't be able to reach those to feed. So horses, as well as some stuff like this. These were for their horse saddles to sit on. A couple old horns in here though too. These were all inside this wall. There was a bunch of antiques in there, bottles. So I kind of dug through that. Looks like they kind of lost it between the wall, and when the guy removed the barn wood, I was able to see everything in here. Yeah, this whole side has been removed now. The roof up in here has been removed. It used to be above here. Still got this one to go. That one's got to go off yet. And the back of the barn still pretty much intact. So things are really progressing though. I told the guy any wood that he doesn't want, he can go ahead and throw over here on this pile, and I'll go ahead and burn this one after the barn is removed. A couple piles though over here yet of wood that needs to be burnt, and some along in here laying. And we burnt the pile that was over there in that woods. There's a couple old pine trees, still pretty wet, but we got the fire going hot enough that all that burned up. And like I said, all the wood that was in the front of the property, we hauled back here and burnt right here in this pile. So most of it burned up. Just a couple more logs left in there. And inside that pile, we did find a couple old rims. Like this big one right here. My grandpa said is off of old wagon wheel based on how big it is, and he thinks this in here again is another corn binder. Kind of hard to see, it's just all falling down. Looks like there may be two pieces of equipment in here with that rim there, but this used to be the old rim right here. So this was the old wood rim that was inside of this big wagon wheel. Got quite a bit of water in here. Right here though is where we're planning on building our house, right here in this open area in the field. Hopefully we're starting that real soon. We're kind of just picking our builder, got to get that down yet, and then we'll be able to get things flagged hopefully before the farmer plants, so that we can tell him don't plant in this certain area. We were planning on building in the fall time, but a lot of the builders have advised against that because of the frost that's going to come in the ground. It's just going to increase costs when they're going to bring in utilities. If consumers has to dig down and the ground's frozen, it's going to cost more money, as well as building and putting foundations in and mudding drywall work in the cold without having a sealed up house is quite a bit more difficult. That's the plan. Hopefully the house will go right there. I think that's pretty much all I have. Like I said, it was pretty cool having my dad and my grandpa here yesterday. All three generations on our new property. The start of our new journey as a family that we're going to build here. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. We'll see how the sales go today. Throughout the day, I'm going to go ahead, try picking up a few more of the scrap pieces that are kind of just laying all over the yard. Maybe make a junk pile of all the plastic. Start hauling some of that out of here and cleaning up the property. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below.